Welcome back, everyone. It's your boy Matty Ice here with a brand new video. This is part of my weekly review series, and this time I really tried to keep it weekly, since I'm filming two videos back to back. So that by the time you should be seeing this one, my Ace one should be out. My review of the a One Piece light novel that follows Ace. So it's Ace's stories. I think it's called. It's like One Piece Ace's story or something. But but today I'm doing another review, and I think this might be one of my favorite ones I think I've done for this channel. Or it's at least one of my favorite manga I've read since I've started this channel, and that is 20th Century Boys. Now I've read uh, the first volume of like the Perfect Edition, which by the way that's such a nice cover. I love those covers. And he, and honestly, I'm probably gonna just do a review for each series after for each volume after this. But for now, it's still the first volume of the Perfect Edition. Now, I've read some of this other guy's manga before. Like he also did Monster and like Rio and like Pluto and stuff, and like I love all of those like manga. And I was like, it's time for me to actually get into 20th Century Boys because I've heard so much about it, like since it came out. So, and like again, it's been out forever. Like it's been out for it's just one of those ones I feel like I've always heard like it's a must read, and now I totally get why it's a must read, and I'm gonna get into it now. Uh, this follows a group of kids that grow up, and so now so it's like it kind of like shows these kids. So I have no idea what I'm gonna say, guys, but it shows these kids that that they make this little group together as kids, and that they all make this symbol, and that they agree on, that this symbol is gonna be the symbol of the club, and like what they do, and then it kind of jumps forward a little bit to when they're all adults, and it follows this one guy who owns a convenience store now, and like it used to be a liquor store, but that failed, and now he's trying to do a convenience store, and that's kind of on the ropes as well, and but yeah, so now like all this weird stuff is happening, like so like one of the best friends die, and so before he died, like like he got like he sent the main character a symbol, and it was a symbol that he didn't recognize. He's like, "What is the symbol?" And all this stuff is happening, like that there's this big cult that's in Japan, and like that they follow this guy that they call their friend, and that that's all they know about him, pretty much, and so that like that's also the symbol of the leader. Like of that cult is that symbol that he got sent like, by his friend Donkey who died, and so this whole time that they're doing, he's trying to figure out like what is with the symbol, and so like he goes asking around like with all his childhood friends that like that he grew up with. He's like, hey, do you guys remember that symbol? Do you guys remember like a lot of the stuff we did as kids? And it took him a while because at first they're like, like you're crazy, like what are you talking about? And now they're finding all this stuff. Like they found this thing that they buried, 20 years before, back when they were kids, and it has that same symbol. So now they're kind of connecting, like, oh, hey, like that this was the symbol that we like made up as kids, and that they're starting to remember all the stories that we made up and like wrote about, and like how like some of that stuff is actually coming true a little bit, and so now they're trying to find out like where the rest of these people went that knew about the club, and it jumps back and forth between them as adults and them as kids. And to be honest, at first it was a little boring because it's like, oh, like what's going on? But it starts to piece together about a quarter of a way to halfway through the first book, like first volume. But towards the end of the first volume, I was so hooked into it, and they, I love science fiction, by the way. I'm a big science fiction guy, and I really love like the way that it's going so far. And like at first, I didn't like the fact that it jumped so much in between them as kids versus now. But I'm starting to appreciate it because now it's starting to make sense a little bit, and like all these different pieces are finally starting to come together. And I just, I'm saying and too much, but Like seriously, I just love the artwork too. The art is great. The story is getting good, and so they might have it pinned down already, but it's probably some twist in there. I bet that's gonna happen later on. But like I've been loving it so far, and so see, I love how like all these different people are very different of like how they grew up and like what they do, and then obviously versus when they were kids, and this might be one of my favorite manga of all time. And I'm sad I didn't get to it sooner, but I'm happy that I finally got to it now, and this is great. I'm gonna give it a 9.5 out of 10, just because that first like the first quarter or so of the book, it was like what's even going on, but after that, like after like it kind of starts to piece together, I was like, oh, I really love the story. So, and it's political, like it's very political and stuff. Too, or not very political, but like there's some political aspects to it, because obviously, because towards the end it's starting to kind of include like the government, because it's like what's with this cult, obviously it's like this massive thing that's selling out these massive, like that they're filling up these massive stadiums, and I can't wait for volume 2, because I really loved the first volume, and like I really hope it keeps up, and like I think it will. So it's like the way it's going, like I think it really will keep up and even get even better for me, and like maybe become my new favorite manga. But see, I don't know, because Berserk is my favorite now. But like who knows if 20th Century Boys. But yeah, so that is it for now. Please come back next week for another review, and I'll see you guys next time.